Hi, and welcome to Curriculum Night. This is the Reading Support class.
Hi, I'm Jenny Portier. I'm really excited to be teaching at Cobb Hill Middle School North again this year. I'll be working with students in an 8th grade language arts class and reading support class. A little bit about me is that I have 3 children. My stepdaughter is in college, I have a young daughter in elementary school, and I have a toddler at daycare. I look forward to working with you this year.
So I'm really sorry I couldn't be here tonight, but this is who I am, and I do look forward to working with all of you this year. Reading Support is a class that we provide here at North to help any of our struggling learners. There has been a notice with things that they're struggling with. It's been narrowed down that it is a reading struggle, and so we are trying to provide this reading intervention. It's best to do the intervention with a structured program, and the district provides the program Read 180. There is an R book, a student workbook that goes along with this. There's an online software program that the students can use on their iPads or the desktop computers that you see in the classroom. And then we also have lots of independent reading materials that are leveled for the students based on this program. We are getting a new program. They've updated the Read 180 system, and so as we're waiting for the new system to be rolled out and to be trained on it, we're still using the model that the program uses so that we're keeping the structure the same, but we're just integrating some of the resources that we already have as professional teachers. One part is the whole group instruction, and that's what we do with the R books. For right now, we're going to be using textbooks and then also different worksheet materials that we have as teachers. The instructional technology section is an online program that the students do on their iPads or the computers, and it's leveled out for the students based on their original assessment, which we'll get to in a few weeks. For right now, we're going to be using the website readtheory.org. The students have already set up their accounts and they've gotten their first assessment piece done. In small group, we're going to be doing some mini lessons. Usually with Read 180, it is run through the workbook that the students have, but for right now, we're just pulling different strategies that are good for all readers and integrating that into our class. The independent reading is something that we're allowing students to self-select text. You'll see at the back of the room by the door and the blackboard, there are crates that are set up. Those crates do have the Read 180 books, and we're getting new books with a newer program. And then on the far wall in the back by the clock in the computers, there are some baskets that also have some reading materials, and we're waiting on some training for both of those that the district is providing soon. Our weekly schedule looks like this. On Mondays, we do a warm-up, the whole group reading lesson, and then students are split into and half do the small group reading lesson and half do the computer program. On Tuesdays, we flip-flop the groups and half do the computer program and half do the small group reading lesson. Then we'll do a whole class read aloud. We'll also do independent reading at this time. On Wednesdays, we go back and we do the warm-up schedule and the whole group reading lesson and then split into groups. Thursdays, we do our warm-up, split into groups again, and do our whole class read aloud. And finally, on Fridays, we do the whole class read aloud or the independent reading, and then they have a study hall to make sure that all their materials are caught up. The learners were definitely concerned with how they get out of this class. So we've noticed that the students were entered into the class because of a struggle that was seen. And so we based that on STAR, iStation, a Read 180 assessment, and teacher input. In order to get out, students need to raise their scores in any of those areas. iStation, Read 180, also map testing, or a release STAR test. We'll be looking at the Read 180 test 4 times this year, And so we're double checking, making sure that all the placements are correct right now within our first 3 weeks. And then we'll do it again in the fall, and then in the winter, and then in the spring. I do go over these scores with the students so that they're aware of what their levels are and where they're at, and so that they can see their growth and see the progress that they've made throughout the year. If you're interested in looking at this yourself, there is a link here that you can use, and that's the username and password. If you're interested in looking at the software that the students do on their iPads or the computers, there's a website for that also. I'm guessing that the password is probably going to be read 10 when September hits, and so we'll just kind of have to play around with that. These links are available on Schoology. I put the presentation on Schoology so that you can access it there. Throughout the year, we're going to be measuring ourselves, looking at our Read 180 results. We'll also be looking at our iStation scores. The learners can actually access the graphs themselves. We will do some journal entries talking about things that they're struggling with, things that are going well, and any of their checklist items that they need to do. Sometimes we also are struggling with organizational systems. By reading and utilizing Membean and vocabulary programs, we're going to really expand on our own vocabulary. There are warm-ups that are available on Scholastic, and it's naturally updated each day, so that's a really easy way to be checking ourselves and doing a daily check on ourselves to get ready for a day or a class period. This slide is just to show you how the students get the app and where they make the setting changes so that they are able to access the program. The actual app may look a little bit different. I'm not sure what the new one will look like. The computer program is available at home. I've created this tiny URL so that students can go online and they can do the program at home also with their school username, and then everyone's password is read180. Email is the best way to contact me. I will respond within 24 to 36 hours. If there's concerns with your child's placement or the progress that your child's making, please contact me first. The counselors and the APs do always refer back to me unless there is something else of a bigger concern. So I look forward to hearing from you. These are just some extra classroom supplies. If you are interested in purchasing anything, there's not a real need at this time. We're just waiting on some supplies from the district. I hope that this helps you understand Read 180 and the reading support class. I do appreciate all the support that you provide at home. I'll provide some information on Schoology, but most of our class is really going to be done in class. We use our workbooks and our journals. We're setting up folders. If you have questions or concerns, please send me an email, let me know, and I'm really glad that you could make it here tonight. Thanks again.